Hello, everyone. This is Tisha coming to you on this wonderful, beautiful day that God has given us. I wanted to share with you about my testimony about this semester when it came to my grades. I know some of you saw my post about my final grades being three A's and a B average, and I give God a glory for that. So, this semester has been a semester of deliverance for me, healing, strength, and restoration for me. And I was just wanting to talk about that because God was pulling at me to talk about that. So, this semester, earlier in the semester, I had about two or three tests that I needed to, study for. And so I was not studying for those tests for real. And it was crazy because, like, my mind, like, in my heart, I wanted to study, but my mind was just like, no. And so I was, seeking God about it. And so I didn't understand. I said, Lord, this is not me because I believe in studying so that you can make a good grade, for the test, but not just that, so you can pass the class with an A or B average, whatever you need, to pass. And so in that moment, I heard the Lord tell me that I don't have to worry about that class because I'm going to pass that class. And so I was a little confused and I was like, okay, but you said it, so I'm not going to worry about it. So I was still, seeking understanding, what he meant. And so later on in the semester, God was revealing to me that he wanted to show me that I cannot do this semester without him. And he wanted to show me that I could not do this through my own strength. And I was like, well, I already know that, Lord. So I wasn't comprehending what he was saying. And so he was telling me that I was trusted in my own ability to study for a test to pass that class, that I wasn't believing beyond my own strength, because you always hear people say, well, you got to put in work and God will handle the rest. And they say, well, if you don't study, you're not going to pass this class, because that's trusting in what you can do for yourself. And so God told me, he said, but I needed to see him at work. I needed to see that he is God. And so doing so, I was like, kind of, confused still because I was like, is this you, Lord, telling me this? And so I was like, you know what, but I'm going to trust God because I have seen you do miracles for me, and not just for me, for other people. And so I'm just going to trust you because I believe that you did tell me that. And so anyway, I ended up passing that class, as you can see proof of my grades online. But that's not why I posted them. I posted them, of course, to give God glory. But I was like so astonished about God revealing his power to me this semester, showing me that all I just needed to trust him, all I needed to see him at work, and he had to not move me to study so I could see him, not myself, but so I could see him, and I know every semester is nobody but God for me to pass that class, whether I study or not. I know it's nobody but God. But just to see him do this, and I was just like, wow, he just that amazing. And also I had another paper I had to do, and I don't know if I ever shared this with y'all, but I know I shared with a few people how last semester I had to do a 10-page paper, and this semester I had to do another paper. It didn't have to be 10 pages, but it was an online class also, but it had to be between 800 and 1,000 words, but it was worth a lot of points. It wasn't, no 5 points or 25 or 50 points. It was worth 150 points. And that's usually how much a research paper is worth. And that can make you pass with that, whatever you get on there, or fail, that paper. Depends on how well you do on that paper. And so I was trusting God with that paper, and I was really praying and talking to God. And I was like, Lord, I just want an A on this paper. I don't care if it's a 90, if I miss 10 points. I just want an A. I just want an A on this paper because I was tired from this paper. Not as tired I was last semester. And so, anyway, a couple of weeks ago, I received a notification about my grade on my paper, and I don't even know where I was at the time, but wherever I was, when I received notification, I opened it up, and my eyes got so big because I prayed for an A, and God gave me an A, but also, oh Lord, He gave me a perfect score. I was like, what? What? Okay, Lord. So yeah, I got 100 on this paper. And some people look at papers like, oh, that ain't nothing. But people don't realize the detail of writing big papers. And this was a big paper. This was not one of those little bitty papers that you can get 100 on. This was a big paper. Like this was like you couldn't be playing around when it came to this paper because the grading on this paper was so strict. Just like that 10-page paper I had to do last semester, the grading on it was so strict, and I had got an A on that one. But, and I was just looking at that, and I know it was nobody but Jesus that did that for me. And I wanted to share that with y'all, and also, I pray that God, continue to move like this. But also, I wanted to share with you, I know there's some people this semester, they had to drop classes, or they didn't get the grades that they needed to get. Don't give up and say that God is not with you because God is still with you. And also understand that everything that you have experienced this semester, that it's a testimony because you're going to pass those classes that you need to pass and you're going to graduate in a timely manner. And God's going to get you through that. But understand also that it's also to help us, and we learn from everything we go through, and also to share with you also those that didn't pass those classes or get the grades they needed. When I first came to college, I didn't make straight A's. I didn't. I wasn't making the right grades, and of course I wasn't making the right grades because I wasn't putting effort. But that's not even the case, really. When you think about what I just shared with you about the class, I wasn't in God like I was supposed to. I wasn't saved. So, yeah, I had grew up in church, but I wasn't saved. So that played a part in me also. But also, I didn't know how to acknowledge God in every part of my life. I didn't know how to acknowledge Him the right way. And so that second semester, I was putting work, but I wasn't seeing anything, any progress of it, and I still failed those classes. But to say all this, when I had came back to college years later, those same classes that I had to take, I ended up passing them with an A. So just to prove to you that just because you failed that class a couple times or so, or didn't get the grade, that doesn't mean that you're not going to ever graduate or that you're not going to ever pass those classes, because you're going to pass because it's your testimony. And seeing that I have passed those classes now, the ones I took years ago, that it has shown me that God is still God. Because in the beginning, yeah, it looked like that I was going to never succeed. I didn't even know I was going to ever come back to college. But it showed me who God is, that He still received the glory in it. And I still learned something from my past times being in college. So, don't beat yourself up about it and get jealous or envy of people that got grades or whatever, because your God is still in your life. He's still working in your favor because our salvation is constantly being worked. Don't beat yourself up about it. Do not be depressed about it, because there is a testimony that God is working in you. And you're going to be like, look at God, that He got you through these classes, because He hasn't left you. He hasn't forsaken you. And so that's what God led me to share that with you, because like I said, there are some people I know that they did not get those grades, and like I said, don't worry about it, because I have been there before. But I do thank God that since I have came back to school, back to school that I have been seeing the progress of all A's, different semesters, and then A's and a B or a couple B's, whatever, and God will do that for you. So don't beat yourself up about it, and you keep trusting in God, because everything we go through is to test our faith. So, and this situation has increased my faith, and I thank God for that. And so I pray that you was blessed by this, and I pray that you have a blessed day, and to God be all the glory.